Sometimes you look at the person you became and you do not recognize yourself. You stand in front of the bathroom mirror, staring at a face that looks permanently exhausted, with eyes that have lost their spark. You remember being confident, full of life, and certain of your own reality. You used to be a man who made decisions with conviction, who laughed easily, and who walked with his head held high. Now, you feel like a ghost in your own home. You spend your days walking on eggshells, holding your breath, and waiting for the next silent treatment, the next cold shoulder, or the next sudden emotional explosion that you know is coming, but can never predict. The most terrifying part is that you have started to believe you are the problem. You have been told for so long, and in so many subtle ways, that you are not enough, that you are failing, and that your best efforts are actually selfish. You believe you are crazy because your reality is constantly being rewritten inside your own house by the one person who was supposed to protect your heart. But you are not crazy. You are not broken. You are just slowly being erased. This video will pull back the curtain on the invisible, calculated patterns of a narcissistic wife. This is not about ordinary marriage struggles or common disagreements. This is about a systematic, quiet destruction of your soul. By the end of this video, you will finally understand the hidden, dark machinery behind your daily exhaustion. You will realize that your pain is real, your memory is accurate, and you will find the absolute clarity you need to reclaim your sanity and take your life back. The reality check, the invisible prison. Before diving into these 7 behaviors, you must understand why you did not see them happening. Narcissistic abuse in a marriage does not look like physical violence or screaming matches. It is a slow, quiet erosion of your reality. It is designed to make you feel like you are the one who is constantly falling short, while she plays the role of the long-suffering wife who is just trying to save the relationship. You accepted this dynamic because you are a person of integrity. You believed that if you just worked harder, listened better, and sacrificed more, you could finally bring back the peace. But you cannot fix a game where the rules change every single day. The 7 ways below are not random marital disagreements. They are calculated psychological tactics used to keep you small, compliant, and completely under her control. To make things worse, this invisible prison depends entirely on your good nature. You keep trying to solve the problem logically, but you cannot use logic with someone who uses chaos as a weapon. You are dealing with an emotional parasite that feeds on your self-doubt. Every single time you apologize, just to stop the fighting, you are handing her another brick to build your own cage. You must stop waiting for her to have a moment of clarity. She knows exactly what she is doing to you, and she is not going to stop because it works for her. Her goal is not a happy marriage, but total victory. The moment you realize that your desire to fix things is actually being used as your biggest weakness, the walls of this prison will begin to crumble. 1. Punishing with silence and demanding mind reading. This behavior pattern is built entirely on the trap of unspoken expectations. A narcissistic partner believes her mind is the blueprint of the universe, and she treats your inability to read her thoughts as a personal betrayal. She experiences a minor, unnamed disappointment, and instead of communicating, she immediately deploys emotional withdrawal. You are met with a heavy, suffocating silence that fills the room, the sudden clattering of dishes, or the cold, blank stare when you walk in. When you ask what is wrong, the trap snaps shut. She tells you that nothing is wrong, or she says that if you truly cared, you would already know. This creates a psychological bind where you are guilty of a crime you did not know you committed. The psychological cost is devastating. Every time you fail to guess her thoughts, You receive a silent verdict that you are failing as a husband. Over time, you stop trying to connect because you learn that reaching out only results in rejection. The silent treatment is not a lack of communication. It is a highly effective weapon used to make you feel fundamentally defective. Think about the sheer unfairness of this setup. You are being put on trial for a crime that was never defined by a prosecutor who refuses to speak. You rack your brain trying to remember if you said the wrong word or forgot a minor detail. While you are drowning in anxiety, she is watching your panic and feeling a sense of absolute power. She does not want you to solve the mystery. She wants you begging for her approval because it proves she controls your emotional state. If she told you what she wanted, she would have to treat you like an equal partner. By keeping you guessing, she keeps you begging for her approval. The truth is, she enjoys watching you struggle to please her because it proves she controls your emotional state. Stop playing this guessing game immediately. If someone refuses to tell you why they are angry, that is their problem, not your failure. Walk away from the heavy silence. Your job is to participate in a mature relationship, not to act as a psychic servant to an emotional bully. 2. Demeaning and devaluing. Under the guise of honest feedback. This situation unfolds in the public eye and in your private spaces through a steady stream of micro-humiliations. It is the sharp correction over a minor detail during a dinner with friends. It is the theatrical sigh when you speak, or the subtle roll of her eyes that signals to everyone in the room that she considers you a child who needs constant supervision. If you attempt to stand up for yourself, she immediately shields herself by claiming she is just being honest, or that you are far too sensitive. This is a calculated effort to strip away your social and personal credibility. She is establishing a public and private hierarchy where she sits as the supreme authority, and you are the subordinate who cannot be trusted to speak or act without her approval. This continuous erosion of your dignity targets your core self-worth. You begin to internalize her constant criticism, doubting your own intellect and social skills. When a wife consistently presents her husband to the world as an embarrassment, the husband eventually starts to believe he belongs in the shadows. Look closely at the actual dynamic at play here. She is using the truth as a weapon to cover up her own deep insecurity. By constantly pointing out your flaws, she ensures that nobody has time to look at her issues. It is a classic distraction tactic. She tears you down in front of others so she can feel superior by comparison. This is not helpful feedback, and it is not love. It is a slow, daily execution of your confidence. She wants you to feel small so that you never feel strong enough to walk away. You have become her emotional punching bag, and she has convinced you that you deserve the hits because you are not perfect. 3. Weaponizing intimacy and turning it into a transactional reward. The psychology of this dynamic relies on a fundamental shift from mutual connection to absolute leverage. In a healthy relationship, physical and emotional closeness is a shared language. To a narcissistic wife, intimacy is a commodity to be bought, sold, or withheld based on your compliance. Access to her warmth is placed behind an invisible paywall of perfect behavior. It is available only when you have met her unspoken demands, agreed with her opinions, or performed tasks to her exact satisfaction. This transactional model completely rewrites your understanding of love. When you are denied affection because you did not perform up to her arbitrary standards, you receive the message that you are only valuable for what you can provide, not for who you are. This leaves you feeling profoundly isolated and physically rejected. You stop reaching for her, not because you do not want closeness, but because you cannot bear the humiliation of having your basic human need for connection used as a bargaining chip. This is a form of emotional starvation. She keeps you hungry for affection so that you will work harder to please her. You find yourself doing extra chores, buying gifts, or staying quiet just to get a brief moment of warmth. You have been reduced to a trained animal performing tricks for a scrap of attention. 4. Erasing your role and worth in your own home. The behavioral model here is the systematic invalidation of your agency. It begins with the smallest daily tasks. You pack the school lunches, and she remakes them because you cut the sandwiches incorrectly. You attempt to discipline the children, and she overrides your authority in front of them, explaining why your parenting style is wrong. You purchase an item for the house, and she criticizes your taste and financial judgment. The underlying message is clear. Your contribution is worthless, and your judgment is flawed, because every attempt to help or participate results in a performance review that you are guaranteed to fail. You eventually stop trying. You step back and let her run everything. Not because you are lazy, but because you are tired of being treated like an incompetent employee in your own house. She then uses your withdrawal to fuel her narrative that she has to do everything herself, leaving you completely isolated from the family unit you helped build. This is a calculated hostile takeover of your domestic life. She does not want a partner. She wants a servant who follows her exact instructions without question. By taking away your voice in daily decisions, she slowly makes you a stranger in your own house. You find yourself asking for permission to use your own kitchen or talk to your own kids. The ultimate cruelty of this tactic is the double standard. She makes it impossible for you to help, and then she hates you for not helping. You are trapped in a loop where doing something is wrong, and doing nothing is also wrong. She has successfully set you up to fail, no matter what you choose. 5. Weaponizing your composure as indifference. This is a profound mischaracterization of human coping mechanisms under stress. When a crisis occurs, your natural response is to compartmentalize, stay calm, and focus on practical solutions. A narcissistic partner does not see your stability as a strength. Instead, she views your calm as a direct threat to her emotional dominance. She demands that you match her high stress state, and when you do not, she accuses you of being cold, unfeeling, and completely detached from her pain. This reaction punishes you for having a healthy, regulated nervous system. By reframing your composure as a lack of love, she forces you into a state of constant emotional defense. You are made to feel that your strength is a character flaw. Over time, you begin to question your own capacity for empathy, wondering if you are indeed as cold as she claims. This dynamic forces you to either suppress your natural strength or perform artificial emotional distress just to keep the peace, further distancing you from your authentic self. Understand what is really happening here. She wants to drag you into her emotional chaos. If you stay calm, she cannot control you. Your stability exposes her lack of self-control, and she cannot tolerate that contrast. She wants you to panic, shout, or cry, because that means she has successfully dictated your emotional reality. By turning your composure into a crime, she isolates you from your main survival tool. Never apologize for staying calm during a storm. Your strength is not a weapon against her. It is your only survival tool. It is a highly effective way to make you doubt your own sanity and your own goodness. 6. Micromanaging and controlling. Under the label of caring. The operational structure here is the absolute elimination of your autonomy. She establishes rigid, impossible standards for how every single aspect of your life must be run, from the way you dress to the way you spend your free time and manage your career. She frames this constant monitoring as deep care, claiming she only wants you to be your best self, or that she is protecting the family's future. The reality is that she is running an emotional dictatorship where your preferences do not exist. Living under this constant surveillance turns your daily life into a state of permanent anxiety. You lose the ability to make simple decisions without anticipating her disapproval. By converting your partnership into a management system, she systematically drains you of your confidence, leaving you entirely dependent on her approval for your daily survival. This is control disguised as affection, and it is highly toxic. True care respects boundaries. Control destroys them. She wants to manage your life because she cannot manage her own internal insecurities. By telling you what to think, what to wear, and who to talk to, she slowly replaces your identity with her preferences. You have allowed yourself to be managed because you wanted to prove you were a good husband. But you are not being a good husband by letting her treat you like a child. You are simply training her to believe that your boundaries do not matter. The more you comply, the more she will demand. 7. Resenting you for failing to match an imaginary fantasy. This is the psychological projection of her internal emptiness onto your real life. She entered the marriage not to connect with you, but to cast you in a pre-written script of a perfect, wealthy, or high-status life. Because you are a real human being with limitations, bad days, and normal human needs, you inevitably fail to play the character she created. Every time your real life falls short of her impossible fantasy, she punishes you with deep, seething resentment. You will never be enough because you cannot compete with a fictional ideal. No matter how hard you work, how loyal you are, or how much you sacrifice, you will never be enough because you cannot win a competition against a ghost. This constant rejection leaves you feeling utterly depleted. You realize that she does not see you, she does not value your loyalty, and she has never actually loved the real person standing in front of her. Think how exhausting it is to live with someone who is constantly disappointed in your existence. You are being judged by a standard that changes on her whim. She does not appreciate your hard work, your loyalty, or your quiet sacrifices because she is too busy mourning the imaginary life she thinks she deserved. She uses this fantasy to justify her cruelty. In her mind, she is the victim because you failed to make her feel like a movie star. This allows her to treat you with contempt while feeling completely justified in doing so. It is a perfect system to keep you feeling guilty and forever in her debt. The turning point, the trap of trying harder. You need to understand a brutal truth. You cannot heal a relationship with someone who profits from your destruction. The biggest mistake you are making right now is believing that if you just love her better, if you just change your tone, or if you finally meet her impossible standards, she will suddenly see your worth. This is a psychological illusion. A narcissistic partner does not want you to win her game. She wants you to keep playing so she can keep control. Every single time you sacrifice another piece of your dignity to keep the peace, you are not saving your marriage. You are only teaching her exactly how much abuse you are willing to tolerate. The exhaustion you feel is your mind and body screaming at you to stop trying to repair an environment that is designed to consume you. Your survival depends on shifting your focus away from trying to change her and starting to protect yourself. Your healing begins the exact moment you stop seeking validation from the person who is actively trying to erase you. You are not the incompetent, cold, or useless partner she has spent years training you to believe you are. Your empathy, your calm under pressure, and your willingness to show up every day are strengths, not defects. It is time to stop arguing over her version of reality and start standing firmly in your own. You have the power to withdraw your energy from her manipulation, to rebuild your boundaries, and to remember who you were before you were taught to apologize for your own existence. Thank you for watching this video to the very end. Your journey toward clarity and healing starts with understanding your true worth. If these words brought you the validation and strength you needed today, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to become part of a community that stands with you every step of the way.